Good Morning Artesia radio show. Joe Forchtner joins us from New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, we're doing great. Glad you could join us here today, and tell you there's a lot of excitement all over the area with everything that's going on this weekend. Jeffrey and I were in Albuquerque yesterday as the Coaches Association were picking all the players for the All-Star Games, which will be in Artesia on Saturday, and you got to announce last week and let everybody know what teams are going to be in the Wool Bowl, and Lackawanna College got invited and accepted, and I'm sure they're excited about coming to Roswell.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. We were fortunate that we got two really evenly matched teams. We got the number 9 team in the nation and the number 11 team in the nation. So, we're excited, especially to bring somebody in all the way from Pennsylvania like Lackawanna. I mean, they just jumped all over it, and that coach is a Hall of Fame coach. I think he's got 200 wins at that school, and they're coming to Roswell playing the Wool Bowl. I think it's going to be a big event.
That is fantastic, and I was looking on the website. I'd heard there had been Wool Bowl games before in the past, but I didn't realize it had been, first of all, that there had been 16 games prior to this year, and that there haven't been any games played since 1981. What, in your research, what did you learn about the history of the Wool Bowl prior to this year?
Well, at one time, it was the longest running bowl game in junior college football. So it used to be, kind of like the Rose Bowl, really. It was a huge event, and, it ran from 66 to 81, and then, New Mexico Military dropped football, and so the game just kind of disappeared, and it hasn't been around, and General Grizzle really wanted to bring it back. And I think a lot of people, once they started working on this and bringing it back, a lot of people in the community wanted it back. So, it's been, what's it been, 40 years? It's been a long time. So, I've had so many people come up to me and say, oh, I remember when the Wool Bowl used to be played. It used to be played every Thanksgiving Day. It was, that was the big thing to do in Roswell. So I'm happy. I'm proud. I'm fired up that it's back. And I can't wait till Friday. I think it's going to be great.
I think it's great, too, that the Broncos have started playing their games back at the Wool Bowl. There were a number of years they weren't even playing their games at the Bowl. They were playing it at the football field on campus, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was on Colt Field right in there in Saunders Barracks. So it was surrounded by the barracks. And that was a cool atmosphere, too. We started playing over at the Wool Bowl, really, because they did giant, like a $15 million renovation on the athletic field house. And that was kind of the genesis of NMMI playing back over at the Wool Bowl. But now that they're there, I don't know if you're ever going to get them out. I think they love it over there.
That's right. It's a nice stadium, and they have the artificial turf there, and maybe this game, I know there's some things that people would like to do some upgrades at the Wool Bowl, and maybe having this game and bringing this back will lead the community to supporting some of that.
I hope so. That's been the goal from the beginning, was to have this be a community event, throughout the whole Pecos Valley, really. Through, Artesia, Carlsbad, Roswell, everywhere, and just get everybody out to support it, because, it's a community thing. It was a community thing when it originated, and hopefully that's what it becomes again.
I know you've been involved in getting sponsors for this game, and it sounds like sponsors didn't hesitate jumping on board. You've had a lot of support from the community just for sponsors to help make sure that this game can take place.
Yeah, that's right. It's the support has been unbelievable. We have sponsors from Artesia to Mayhill, Ruidoso, Carlsbad, Roswell, and people have been so generous and just been so willing to throw their support behind this thing. And without that, this game wouldn't be going. We're trying to make it a big event, not just a regular game, with a flyover, with fireworks, with food trucks, with, truck giveaway contests, things like that. So, we want to make it a good experience, like a good in-game experience for the fans, but we also want to make it a top-notch bowl game for the teams playing in it too, where this is a game that people, talk about and want to come to, and just make it, a prestigious event, not only in the community, but, in junior college football nationwide.
You mentioned the flyover. Talk a little bit about that, because when we had our meeting last week, you were kind of describing the process involved in getting a flyover, but there is going to be a flyover that afternoon.
There is. Yeah, we worked through the National Guard, and we really wanted a flyover. I think that's just an awesome thing. I've been at games with flyovers, and it's unbelievable. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to have the flyover time up with the national anthem, and that's what the National Guard wanted to do. And then just last week there was some problems with the time of the sunset, and something else was going on. So we're going to have a flyover, but the flyover is going to be at 5 o'clock. So they said, well, do you still want the flyover? I said, well, yeah, man. I mean, some flyovers better than no flyover. So we'll just fly over. They're going to fly over the pregame and then over the tailgate in the parking lot. We've got 11 food trucks out there right now. So hopefully we'll have a crowd out there at 5 eating, having a good time, and the teams will be warming up. So yeah, that's all the U.S. Army National Guard, and they're going to have a big setup there with, I think, armored vehicles and obstacle courses kind of in the concourse next to the grandstand. So, the kids will be able to play on it and things like that.
And that's something else I wanted to ask you, Coach. I know the game's at 6, but there's stuff going on that afternoon. So with the food trucks and the displays and everything else, we're encouraging people to come out 4:30, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, just kind of hang out with friends and fans, and hopefully there'll be a lot of folks in from Pennsylvania, and we can see if they have funny accents. But just have a big party there at the Wool Bowl on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, that's kind of why we asked the food trucks to come in. And, Food Truck Friday in Roswell, when it was going there for a while, I can't remember when that was, if that was during the pandemic or shortly thereafter, that was a cool deal, and they got a big turnout. And I think, the people in town loved it and the food trucks loved it. So, we asked them to come out, and hopefully people can just come and hang out and, eat, drink, whatever, get ready for the game and just have a good time doing it.
That's right. You mentioned the teams and the quality of the competition that you have going on, but there's also going to be a halftime program set up, and you've got a number of things that people are going to want to stick around and watch during halftime.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on in game. The RYFL, we're going to recognize their MVPs and their Super Bowl champions, the Roswell Youth Football League. We're going to recognize a veteran at the end of the first quarter. At halftime, we've got Charlie's Angels performing. They'll kick off the halftime performance. Oh, we also have Lindsay Weathers singing the national anthem from Goddard High School. She's an amazing singer. I can't wait for that. Amy's Fireworks is shooting off fireworks. But at halftime, we've got Charlie's Angels performing. They're going to kick off the halftime. Multi-time national champion. They're unbelievable. After that, Legacy Dance Academy is going to perform, and I've watched their performance a couple times practicing at the Wool Bowl, and that's really, really good. And then right after that, we're going to have a perfect punt contest for a $50,000 truck sponsored by Richland, and we're going to have 2 contestants. Every paid entrant gets basically a ticket. Then we're going to draw the ticket at the end of the first quarter. You come out there, you get a chance to win a $50,000 truck. So halftime is packed. It's going to be fun. So you definitely want to stick around for halftime.
Kicking a punt, huh? What's the distance on the punt they're going to have to attempt?
35 yards.
35 yards. Okay. Well,
Yep.
you never know. There may be a recruit in the stands. Hey, why don't you come play for NMMI? Do something like that. And the other thing I want to ask you, the last thing I guess, is the cost of the ticket. And you've made it so reasonable. There's no reason for folks not to buy some tickets and come out to this event.
Well, that's what we wanted. We wanted it. Wanted people to be able to come out and not break the bank. I mean, I know you can't hardly go to a D1 game or a pro game without spending a couple $100, but tickets are $5 for adults, and then it's free for 14 and under. So you could bring your whole family for, not very much money at all. And that's what we wanted, is just to get people out and let them experience it, because it's a high level of football that a lot of people don't know about. I mean, it's very, very high level. Guys go on to play, in Division I in the pros and things like that. And, we just want people to come and see it and experience it and support it. We want to be there for the community and the community be there for us. So, that was kind of the goal behind the whole ticket pricing.
Right. And you've got 2 top 10 teams, NMMI, the defending NJCAA national champions. Unfortunately, they came a little bit short of the Final Four, but that meant they were available for the bowl game, or I guess the bowl game could have been one of the Final Four games if that had happened, but that'd have been kind of cool to do that. But still, and then Lackawanna being what'd you say, number
11.
Number 11. So a good football team, and like you say, a lot of players from these schools go on to bigger and better things in college and eventually to the NFL. Is there anything else that you wanted to make sure people were aware of about the Wool Bowl Friday night?
Well, the weather's supposed to be good, so I mean, we'll be selling shirts and programs and concession stands. We'll have a concession stand. It'll just be a good experience, and I'm pretty excited about it. So hope everybody comes out and supports it. We'd love to have as many people as possible and fill the stands for the first Wool Bowl in 40 plus years.
That's right. Now, tickets are available online if they want to buy them that way, woolbowl.net. But can you also buy them at the gate Friday night?
You can buy them at the gate. So you can buy them, like you said, at woolbowl.net. You can pay for them at the gate. So there's, a couple different ways to do it. We've been posting information nonstop on our Facebook page. It's /Woolbowl. And so we try to make it as easy and as accessible as possible so people come out.
That's great. Friday night, the kickoff is 6 o'clock. But there's a flyover at 5. There's all the pregame and halftime festivities you talked about, the food trucks, just the whole experience of bringing a junior college bowl game back to Roswell, New Mexico. I always thought the Wool Bowl, I guess they called it a Wool. I never knew that there was a bowl game there. I didn't move to New Mexico till 91, so it would have been 10 years after that. When did football resume at NMMI?
Oh, man. If he hadn't asked me, I could have told you. I can't remember what the year was.
That's okay. But it stopped in 81, and that's when the bowl game stopped. But now it's back. Well, that's great. Well, anything else you want to share with folks, Coach?
No, I appreciate it. I just want to thank all of our sponsors, for everything. They made it possible. And thank you for putting us on here and all your support. And I know you're going to be, you guys are going to be broadcasting it, and it's going to be awesome. So
Art and Kelly are excited. He sent me a text it was at the end of the Artesia game, state championship game, and Art sends a text to the effect, aren't they doing the Wool Bowl, Joby and Robbie? And I said, no, you're doing the Wool Bowl. And he said, no, I meant, are they going to talk about the Wool Bowl? And just as we were having that conversation, Joby reminded everybody about the Wool Bowl.
Oh, perfect.
on Friday night. But I can tell you, Art and Kelly are really excited about it, and they're looking forward to beating the coaches and everybody this week, and then broadcasting the game, which will be on our KSVP TV, and we've got the event up there now. So if you go to ksvptv.com, it's the first event that you see, and then it'll be on 106.5 there in Roswell, New Mexico. It'll be on the radio on 106.5, so people, if they can't watch or can't be there, they'll be able to hear it on the radio. So we're excited about that, too. So, well, good. Well, Joe Forchtner, thank you so much for taking time to be with us. I know we'll be seeing you again this week, and let's have a big game Friday night.
Yeah, appreciate it. God bless you.
All right, thank you. Same to you. All right, we're going to finish up this